Well, right now what we're looking at is they've got a lot of material that's washed in from the drainage there and actually started building up along here and built up this shoal. And we've got to remove this, pretty much restore the stormwater drain. Marty out there, he's going to be probing the amount of sediment that's been deposited. Usually some of the heaviers will be up top and some of the lighter fines will be down lower. But typically, you know, that looks like a lot of heavy sand. Yeah, basically each one of those sections that's marked off on his probe rod there, he's probing out the amount of material that's actually deposited. So he'll start at the top and he'll work his way down. Each marker is marked off at a 1 foot section. So basically we can get a gauge as to the actual amount of sediment that's been deposited in that area. Once he hits firm bottom, it'll stop, usually be a clay bottom, concrete bottom, or you know, a liner of that. What did you have so far over here?
1.5 right there. The island is
3. 1.5 there, 3 there. Roger. See, basically what I'm doing is just marking down. He's gonna 3. And I'm just gonna follow him along with this map here. And we're gonna basically just write down the amounts of sediments deposited. And basically what we'll do is we'll get back to the office and he'll go ahead and map it out. And then he'll get a total amount of cubic yardage there and what is needed to be able to remove that sediment. Be it a bag, box, or whatever is efficient. In this scenario, it looks like, you know, the best scenario we have. We don't have an area for a bag or such. So we'll probably be setting up boxes here and doing boxes. 3. And right now he's just telling me that there's 3 foot of sediment there. How much water overall, Marty?
3.5.
2? 2 foot of water, 3 foot of sediment. You know, unfortunately, with a lot of the HOAs, they have to, you know, maintain and clean the pond so that they can maintain the stormwater flow down through the water district. So that basically, if this floods out, then everything above it will flood out. So all the houses and whatnot can be flooded up top. But yeah, once these cattails stabilize like that, they'll actually stabilize the bottom. They'll create an organic nutrient, you know, rich environment for the cattails to actually grow. And whenever they start do growing, they start growing like wildfire. 2. But I mean, you can see they also started stabilizing over here on this side right here. So they'll actually start spreading out as they catch more sedimentation. But also you have a drainage here right here. So you have the road runoff that'll come from the street here. You know, you'll have grass clippings, leaves, and so forth, and they'll come down that chute and they'll hit those cattails and those organics that are actually stabilized, and it'll trap it and keep it there. 3. Yeah, all this right here will be removed and essentially be returned back to a pond. And whenever we remove this, whatever cubic yardage that may be, you know, once that is all removed, we're increasing the water volume of that area. So now, you know, instead of there being land, it's able to hold that much more water.
This one's pretty obvious, you know, so a lot of ponds, you might walk up to it, you might not be able to tell that it needs dredging, but the telltale signs are obviously when you see exposed material like this, or you start seeing stuff growing like that right there. Basically, if the water is so shallow that the sunlight can touch the bottom, then stuff will start growing on the bottom, just like up here on the grass. You know, that's just aquatic versus, you know, just up here in the dry. So signs are when you actually start seeing stuff growing, or you actually, you know, you can physically see the sediment here. Those are obvious signs that, you know, you need to dredge. And this is, you know, pretty much no more waiting on this one. You don't have a year, you don't have 2 years. Something like this needs to be addressed pretty much immediately.
Algae blooms and so forth.
Yep, algae blooms. So a lot of it is aesthetics, that, you know, it just doesn't look good with the algae and stuff like that. You know, and then just the ability of the pond to hold water. is the big thing as well. So kind of when we think about, homeowners, there's a whole lot more aesthetics, that they're looking at, because they do get to enjoy this and walk by. I mean, that's why the sidewalk's here. So you can kind of, get a feel of nature. When you're thinking about like a golf course or irrigation, you're actually thinking about water volume that we're able to hold, that we're going to irrigate with. So a lot of the bags, I know that you've seen some of those bigger bags that are 100-foot long by 30-foot wide. The material that's in there is displacing over 110,000 gallons per bag. So on a golf course, the last thing you want to do is actually have to get city water to irrigate with. It is so expensive to do that. So you really want the maximum amount of area in your pond to hold water for irrigating.